Happy Sunday and welcome to our NFL preview. Matthew Rocchio, Randy Karraker, and some awesome games today in the National Football League. And Matthew, I was telling you before we got started here, for me, the most surprising team in the league is the Los Angeles Chargers, being 7-3, despite losing their starting tackles, who are both, by the way, first-round draft choices. You lose Slater, you lose Alt, you move Alt over to left tackle, he gets hurt. You wind up with your number 3 right tackle, Pipkins playing. You wind up with your number 3 left tackle. You lose Najee Harris. You lose Omari Hampton. You lose Hassan Haskins. You're on your 4th running back with Vidal now. And you're still finding ways to win. And by the way, you lost your right guard for a while. He's back now, Mekhi Becton. But what they're doing offensively is remarkable for the Chargers. And the offense wasn't great against the Steelers on Sunday night, but the defense is there every week for Jim Harbaugh's team.
And that's why when you look at a game like this, when they're facing off against the Jaguars, again, I think Liam Cohen's building something, but these two teams have been impossible to predict week to week, I feel like, this season. Injuries mostly on the Chargers and just inconsistency, and now injuries on the Jaguars part. They're at home, they're getting 3 points. But with the injuries, with the lack of wide receiver depth they have now, I can't see, to your point, I can't see how the Jaguars score more than 17 points.
Right. That's wwhere I am. And for the Chargers to be ahead of the Chiefs in the standings is remarkable. They win road games. They're 3-1 on the road. By the way, they're also 6-1 in their division. But they've only allowed 203 points all year long, the Chargers have. And that is a remarkable number after 20 games. As a matter of fact, they are in the top 10 in the league in terms of points allowed, right there with Detroit, but between Detroit and New England. So their defense is playing great. And I think that this is another road game where you go from go to the West Coast. Jacksonville's in the Central Time Zone, right? I think.
I think it might be one of those weird parts.
But anyway, they go from west to east, and they're really good about it. They went in and they beat the Giants at MetLife.
Jacksonville's Eastern.
Okay, Eastern. So that's another thing that Harbaugh's teams do well, is they go on the road, they fly across the country, and they win games. And I would think, Matthew, that this is a game where, like you said, injuries are starting to hit Jacksonville. They lose their number 1 pick, Travis Hunter, even though they did go get.
He plays 2 spots. I didn't think about that. Yeah. When Travis Hunter gets injured, oh God, that's that's 2 positions that just got injured. I forgot about that factor.
That is a factor. So I really like the Chargers in this game. They're a 2.5-point favorite, and I like them to cover this. And by the way, Justin Herbert is just better. I hated to give up on Trevor Lawrence becoming premier elite. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to be elite. I think that
sometimes the 6'4", 220-pound Adonis, who's built to play quarterback, just isn't built to play it at the NFL level.
By the way, Drake May is.
God bless America. I did not see that
6'4",
coming.
220.
I really did not see Drake May being this like deep ball savant.
No,
he's incredible up in New England. Yeah, we're gonna start talking about the Patriots. Unfortunately,
terrific on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got another one. Bucks and Bills. What a monster game this is, because Buffalo can't afford to lose another game.
Yep.
They're 2.5 behind New England in the AFC West, but Tampa Bay
just lost to New England.
Right,
gave that game away.
Yeah, at home, and Tampa Bay is sitting there with, in my opinion, they could not. It's possible that they could not win the NFC South.
Yeah, the Panthers are
right. Panthers are right there. Atlanta's got another monster game this weekend, but Carolina's playing well, and Tampa Bay, if they lose this one, they get to 6-4, and then all of a sudden they could be just a game ahead, half game ahead after the weekend.
Yeah, and it's tough. I mean, they get to go to Buffalo, maybe probably right when it's getting crappy. I haven't checked. Let's look. What's the Buffalo weather forecast like for this weekend? Let's check out Buffalo.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Not too bad, Randy. We're looking at about 41 degrees today in Buffalo with only a 25% chance of precipitation. So not a rough one at all for the Buccaneers weather-wise. The question is, just the things that the defense has let up big plays. That's why they lost that game to the Patriots. They got some talent on the back end, but there's a little bit of age in the front seven. I think Baker Mayfield can get you out of almost anything, but the big question now for the Buccaneers is, can they keep this game, within like 7 points at half? Because then Baker's, going to get into it, but they're letting teams get too big of leads in the first half.
You love chaos, and there's a much greater chance for chaos if Buffalo wins this game, because they close in a little bit on the Patriots and stay alive in the AFC East, and if the Bucs lose, Carolina goes to Atlanta and wins, then all of a sudden, as we mentioned, half-game lead for the Bucs in the NFC South. So the greater chance for chaos is for Buffalo to win this game at home. If Buffalo cannot beat Tampa Bay at home, then there's serious problems there.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I think, they're still, you're only getting 5.5 points if you take the Buccaneers. Yeah, this one's I'm probably staying away from. I think it's going to be a fascinating game, though. This one might be a first half, second half, that kind of thing. 3
great games to close out the day in the late window. You've got the Seahawks at the Rams, both 7-2. Both play great defense. Both have quarterbacks playing at a very high level. Both have good running games. The offenses are kind of mirror images of each other. They both play that zone running game. It's at LA. I don't know if that's much of a home field advantage for the Rams.
No.
And Seattle has they've turned things around. I just have no idea. This is another one with our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook that I would stay away from, because I think this game comes down to the final 2 minutes. It's going to be one after the 2-minute warning.
I think that's a really good point. I do think it's interesting. Some Matthew Stafford quotes have come out from a couple of years ago, where he acknowledges his privilege that he grew up with, and I think in front of all those Seattle fans, I think he's going to feel super comfortable. And so, and so I think he's going to actually play really well. So I think actually Stafford, of all people, is going to be super comfortable with all these Seattle fans. Maybe a little scent going around in the building. He'll vibe with that. So I think Stafford's going to have a great game. I think the Rams are going to win this one.
Oh, do you think the 12s show up in LA?
I think they do.
I think
they will.
The faithful do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just think it's going to be a great game. Now, at the exact same time, starting about 20 minutes after that game, Kansas City is at Denver, and an absolute must-win for the Chiefs. I think if the Chiefs lose this game, they miss the playoffs. There's a statement for you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You think if the Chiefs schedule? Okay, hold on a second.
You got it.
They have the Colts coming up next week. That's at home. But they got the Cowboys, the Texans,
Dallas on Thanksgiving,
the Chargers, and the Titans.
If they lose this game, they're 5-5.
They could be under 500 after the Colts game.
Yep. But if the playoffs started today, Kansas City would not be in the playoffs.
Here's the thing, though. It's just very, very Chiefs to then just put pedal to the metal and win 6 straight to close things out and just cleave off the Cowboys, Texans, and then division rivals, Chargers, Broncos, and Raiders. They got the Titans in there.
Chargers still haven't lost a division game.
Still haven't lost. Yes, but it would be this would kind of,
Broncos are good.
That's the path, though. And that's the very Pat Mahomes. They're down, they're winning. And it would be to drop below 500 and then rip off 6 straight.
It would not be beyond them. But here's the thing. They lose today, 5-5, okay? And you still have the Chargers on the schedule, and you lost to them at a neutral site down in Brazil. You still have the Broncos on the schedule again. So that could get you to 7 losses very easy. And if you look right now, you've got so much competition for those last playoff spots, the playoff spots in the AFC. You've got Buffalo sitting there. They're probably going to be a wild card team with the way that the Patriots are playing. You've got Pittsburgh. What is Pittsburgh going to do? You've got the Ravens still behind you, sitting there at 4-5. If the Ravens win today, then you've got, and the Chiefs lose, they're both at 5-5.
I know we're not talking about the Steelers game, but I can't be the only one who thinks that if they make the playoffs, they're going to lose in the first round because Aaron Rodgers just is going to. He's not going to be able to do this another 2 calendar months.
But let's just talk about making the playoffs. Bengals at home today. Yeah, they should be able to handle that. Yeah. Then they go to Chicago. I think that's a coin flip with the Steelers defense. Man,
with the way that Caleb Williams is playing, it was a slow roll, and I was very slow to admit it. But he's a legitimate quarterback.
Who's the owner of the Bears? Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that.
Then they get Buffalo at home, and we talked about the scuffles that Buffalo is enduring.
I think they'll lose.
Buffalo at Pittsburgh. Then they've got the Ravens at Baltimore,
that's Baltimore, I think.
Yeah, that's probably.
Lamar's
but then they get the Dolphins at home.
Yeah, they suck.
They go to Detroit.
That's Detroit. I think that's where we see them getting into a little bit of
I would not in planning for a game, I would not take Dan Campbell over Mike Tomlin.
No, but can I take
then you go to Cleveland?
Can I take Jared Goff over Aaron Rodgers?
Oh yeah, you can do that, but how many times has Aaron Rodgers gone into Detroit and won?
All right, that's fair. We'll have to do a milkshake.
Even when they hit Matthew Stafford,
we'll have to do a milkshake back for that game when it comes up.
So anyway,
I just think Rodgers is
5-4. Get the Bengals 6-4. Get the Bills at home 7 wins. Lose to Baltimore. Get the Dolphins at home. That's 8. And then you beat the Browns at the end of the season. That's 9. And that's exactly the same number of wins that I'm saying that the Chiefs would have. So I'm just saying that I think there's a lot of teams that have a chance to have the same record as Kansas City. And I could easily see Kansas City, if they lose today, missing the playoffs. If they win today, coming off of a bye, getting Josh Simmons back at left tackle, getting everything organized, having the running game perform. If they win today, then you can see them win out.
I love a home dog by 3.5. That's plus 3.5 for the Broncos. I love everything you're saying. I like that I'm getting more than a field goal. I love 3.5 points there for the Broncos at home.
And by the way, Bo Nix has not performed at an optimum level here over the last few weeks either. Okay, then tonight you've got the Lions at the Eagles, and this should be really fun. This is one that I have difficulty with. The Eagles are an offensive mess right now. We saw that Monday. A.J. Brown said that it's a blank show, right? Their offense is a blank show. And Detroit put up 44 when their coach Dan Campbell took over the play calling duties. So you've got two teams that appear to be heading in different directions.
Yeah, I think what the Eagles is I don't know. I don't want to evaluate them now because they've made so many moves.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the team they are right now can't be the team that they themselves expect to be even by like week 15, just because there's so many new players. Brandon Graham has come out of retirement. They lost, why am I blanking on the name? Alexander. They're getting the pass rush going now with the Jalen Phillips trade. He had a really good first game. Alex Hunt is starting to really produce after that trade last year, but I don't know where they are in the secondary. A lot of new bodies. Kenyon Mitchell's having a big season, but what else is going on there on the back end for the Eagles? Those are my questions. And so I think if this is a win for the Lions, it is a big win for them. If it's a loss for the Eagles, I got 2 or 3 more weeks before I'm making a lot of judgments about what they could be if they make the playoffs, or should they make the playoffs.
Okay. There's a lot of great players on the field tonight. A lot of great players, both sides of the ball. I think the best player on the field in this game is Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah. And I think he's the X factor. You mentioned what Philadelphia has, and they have great linebackers. But I have to believe that the Lions are going to do everything they can to get Jahmyr Gibbs to touch the ball maybe 25 times, and I think that'll be the difference.
Good linebacking core in Philadelphia.
Yep.
And if there's one thing linebackers can still do, it's partially and help neutralize guys like Gibbs who are dynamic out of the backfield. And that's honestly one of the best and most underrated parts about the Philadelphia defense is that linebacking core can run. They can cover sideline to sideline. So I agree with you. That's the plan. But if there's any defense that could frustrate it, I think that the Eagles are one of the few.
Jahmyr Gibbs, and I know this is a big statement, Jahmyr Gibbs is Marshall Faulk in his prime.
Yeah.
And linebackers can't cover guys like that. That's how the Rams always won, because they had that matchup of Marshall on a linebacker.
I know that I'm not saying that any of the Eagles linebackers are that level. How did Derek Brooks do against Marshall Faulk?
Well, he actually covered wide receivers that day in the NFC Championship game. He was on Torrey Holt. So he was pretty incredible. They actually had John Lynch mostly on Marshall.
Hey, so they were putting Brooks in the slot.
Oh, well, Brooks, he knocked Torrey out of the game. Torrey had to go to the sideline bleeding he was spitting up blood because Brooks hit him so hard.
I always loved Derek Brooks so much. He's one of my favorite players of all time.
Yeah.
I had never caught on to that.
But then
Lynch covering Marshall.
If you watch the 2000 game, Marshall scored 4 touchdowns against him.
Yes, he did.
So they pretty well shut him down in the NFC Championship game here, and the Rams shut them down too.
Yeah.
But in that 38-35 game down there, that the Rams should have won if Isaac catches a touchdown pass. But Marshall scored 4 and kind of lit him up.
That's fair.
So it was always fun. So Lions and Eagles should be a fun game. And I like Detroit in this one. And I think every week that Philly's going to figure things out. I always forget that they have a new offensive coordinator in Philadelphia, that they lost Kellen Moore. And I wonder if that's having a factor or playing a role. You can't have, and I get that A.J. Brown is complaining. You can't have only 3 targets for A.J. Brown when you have him on your team.
I agree. And this is their second year in a row with a new offensive coordinator, right?
Yeah.
Because they lost Shane Steichen.
Yep.
Well, and then they've lost defensive coordinator.
Then they had a guy in the year where they collapsed. They were 10-1. They got rid of the offensive and defensive coordinators that year. So it's actually Steichen. I forgot the guy's name. Moore, and now this is their 4th in 4 years. Yes.
Yeah. And listen, we talk about that with quarterbacks who usually we're criticizing young quarterbacks and unsuccessful teams. But to your point, I think the success of the Eagles has kind of glommed over the fact that something we always talk about being a problem with an offense is happening right now in Philadelphia. And it's happening because they're good, but it can't be easy for Jalen Hurts every single season to have to be dealing with that kind of shift.
Yeah. Brian Johnson, by the way, the forgettable Brian Johnson was the 2023 offensive coordinator.
I mean, his name could have been Dan freaking Smith. I mean, what are the chances the guy's name is Brian Johnson?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So a fit. So I like Detroit in this game.
I'm with you on that one.
All right.
Like I said, I'm not worrying about the Eagles, but I'm also not buying into them.
Hey, and don't forget that starting December 1st, for every single NFL game, you will be able to wager on those games with DraftKings. All you need to do is starting November 17th, and we are coming up on that date. Actually, it's tomorrow that you'll be able to create your DraftKings account and get ready for launch day on December 1st. Here's what you do. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. It's the top-rated sportsbook app in America. And if you're a new Missouri customer, download the app and use that promo code right there, STL Sports. Place a $5 bet and unlock $300 in bonus bets. DraftKings Sportsbook brings you everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action. Go live in Missouri, and you'll be betting with the Sportsbook app trusted by millions. It's safe, it's secure, and it has fast money withdrawals, too. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when DraftKings goes live December 1st in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Happy Sunday. Enjoy the NFL action, and we will be back to review it tomorrow at 3 Central on STL Sports Central. For Matthew Rocchio, I'm Randy Karraker. Thanks for joining us, and thanks to our friends at DraftKings who present STL Sports Central. DraftKings, where the crown is yours.